Everyone, welcome to District 76 Conference, Keynote Speech Session. Oh, let me introduce. Your host today is Tomoko Takezaki, coming from Yokohama Frontier Toastmasters Club. And this is my partner, ta-da! Toastmaster Hitoshi Kawaguchi from Yokohama Frontier Toastmasters Club. Hello, Toastmaster Kawaguchi. Are you here? I can see you.
Hello!
Oh, I can hear voice, but I can see you.
I'm here!
Where are you? I can see him. Where is he? Oh no! This is the trouble. Actually, he's always troublemaker. Sorry, we are having a communication problem. Let me see. Well, anyway, let me start. First, welcome greeting from District 76 Annual Conference Chair, Katashi Ishihara. Please give a big hand to the conference chair, Ishihara.
Hi, thank you, Takezaki-san. Finally, the conference is the last day. Today is the keynote speech for the last program, International President, Richard Peck, and the International Speech Contest. I can't wait for the programs to start. Stay tuned for this final day program. I back the control to Takezaki-san. Thank you very much.
Thank you, conference chair, Ishihara. Now, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Are you ready for keynote speech?
Yay!
All right. I am pleased to introduce Toastmasters International President Richard E. Peck. For over 30 years, Richard was a senior member of the Network Support Division at AT&T. The Seymour Connection resident led cross-functional teams to successfully deliver million-dollar high-tech project. Outside of Toastmasters, Richard has served as a club president and lieutenant governor for Kiwanis International, is a member of Lions Club, and has also worked in various capacities with the Catholic War veterans. He is also commissioner on the local government board. Richard is also a professionally licensed race car driver. Wow! A Toastmaster since 2006, Richard is a member of Nutmeg Toastmasters Club in Woodbridge, Connecticut, and is also currently member of Park City Toastmasters Club in Stratford, Connecticut. Now, everyone, please help me welcome and give a big hand to the International President, Distinguished Toastmaster, Richard E. Peck.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Takezaki. I hope you can all hear me okay. And I hope that you find your partner who seems to be missing in action. Thank you, and good morning, District 76. It appears that we have a great crowd in the audience, although I can't see all your faces and wish I could. Greetings from Guinea, West Africa, where I am joining you today. It appears from what I've heard and what I've seen that you've had an amazing conference so far. And I hope that at the end of this session, you'll be able to see how you can change the world, how you can make an impact on society. If I was to ask you to raise your hands, and I know I can't see them now, but I'm going to think it mentally that you're raising your hands. How many of you feel that you can change the world, that you can actually make an impact and change the world? Now, usually when I do that in an audience of Toastmasters, a few hands will go up, but not many. When you think about it, the world is made up of 7.7 billion people. It's in 195 countries on 7 continents with more than 4,600 recognized religions. And I'm asking you if you can change the world. Now, I remember the first time someone asked me that question. They asked me, Richard, do you think that you can change the world? And I looked at them somewhat like many of you were looking at me when I asked you that question, and said, there's no way that I can change the world. I'm just one person. We're each and every one of us just one person. That is until I watched a YouTube video. And the YouTube video was titled The Power of Words. And in the video, it shows a square, town square, which I'm assuming to be Europe. And there's a blind man sitting on the sidewalk. And people are just throwing money at him. They're paying no mind to where they're throwing it, to whether he can even find it. The sign next to him says, I'm blind, please help. A young woman comes by and picks up the sign, rewrites it. And the next thing you notice is people are putting money in the cup. They're giving more money than they did before. They're paying attention to this individual. And at the end of the video, they re-show the sign. And what she did was she changed the wording on it from I'm blind and I can't see to it's a beautiful day and I can't see it. It changed the focus of what was important. It changed the individual's focus. And what that video showed me was that I didn't need to change the world, but rather that I needed to change the world of just one individual, to make a positive change in one person's world. Each and every one of us just needs to do that. District 76 has approximately 4,700 members. That's just Toastmasters members, not to mention the rest of the members in the country. Imagine if each one of you made a positive change in one person's world. And these individuals, in turn, made a change in one other person's world. Think about what that ripple would look like. Think about how much change we could have in so little a time. And we make change in individuals' lives in what we say and what we do, how we act when we're with them. We also make an impact on those around us by how they see us. In other words, they don't have to interact directly with us to have an impact. If someone witnesses me acting in a negative way, or you acting in a negative way, it can have a negative impact upon them. And I heard that in a profound statement that was made to me in 2016. In 2016, I was running for second vice president for the first time in Washington, D.C. Now, some of you may have been there. It was by far the longest business meeting that we had ever had prior to last year's. And I was running against 5 other individuals. I ultimately lost the election in the end, but I was talking to an individual later, asking them what they witnessed and what they saw. And they said, Richard, we saw you wandering around, but we never saw you smile. Now, that person never came up to me, talked to me, never interacted with me during the convention, but they saw something, and it made that impact on them. When people see us acting a certain way, when they hear us using certain words, certain ways in we're saying them, it can make an impact on them, positive or negative. So how can we make a positive impact on individuals and on our world, on their world? Well, first and foremost, we live and demonstrate the Toastmasters core values every day in everything we do. And I'm sure that almost every one of you know the core values by heart, although they're somewhat changed in order occasionally. Integrity, respect, service, and excellence. But do we know what they mean? And do we know how they can make an impact on others? So I'm going to briefly run through them with you just so that we have a grounding. So integrity is having moral courage and fortitude to do the right thing in all circumstances, even when no one is watching. Having integrity means that you are always true to yourself and would do nothing to bring dishonor to yourself or to others. Living in integrity means that everything we say and everything we do are true reflections of what we value, what's important to us. Think about what your behavior says about you. Does it clearly show others who you are? Does it clearly show others what you value? Do you show up as honest and committed or dishonest and indifferent? Are you spending your time with people and activities you value, or is your focus elsewhere? When we live in integrity, we are sincere and true to ourselves. We don't say or think one thing and do another. People trust and respect us. Our relationships are solid, and we feel good about ourselves. Those positive feelings from others and within ourselves reinforce our values and build our reputation and self-esteem, leading us to greater success in all areas of our lives and having the respect of others, for they see us living our value. Now, before I move on to respect, I want to mention ethics. And ethics is slightly different than integrity, although they are similar. Integrity is doing the right thing regardless of the situation. Ethics is doing the right thing based on the situation. Now, let me give you an example of the difference between integrity and ethics. As a member of the board of directors, as your international president, you elected me to serve you. When it comes time to vote on various matters, I need to do what I feel is best in your interest. Now, this means that I might be the only one in the room, or you might be the only one in the room when you're voting who believes opposite to the others. But you cannot let the pressure of that be the decision maker. You have to stay true. You have to make a decision based on the integrity that you have. However, when you go out and stand in front of the public, you support the decision that was made. Some of you may have experienced this where you've been in a club environment and a vote was taken on something, you didn't agree with it, it was voted upon and passed, you stood with integrity, but now when you stand before others, you support the decision, showing ethics in what you do. So again, integrity and ethics are similar, but there is a distinction. We also now live up to respect. Respect is our second core value, and it's one of those there because it's our second highest in belief. Respect is a positive feeling or an action shown towards someone. Someone is being held in high esteem or regard. It conveys a sense of admiration for good and valuable qualities. It is also the process of honoring someone by exhibiting care and concern or consideration. Think about the environment that we're in today. This unknown, this needing to be separated, this concern. We need to show respect for each and every person. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what is in their lives right now. And respect is something that's difficult to earn, but it's very easy to lose. It is probably one of the most fragile things we have, that it bases on us as people. Now, some of you may know my wife, Betty Ann. And I want to explain a story to you about how easy it is to accidentally disrespect someone or possibly show a lack of respect. So Betty Ann and I were dating. This was years ago before we got married. And I went to pick her up to take her out to dinner. This was our first date. I went up to the door and knocked. She came out. And we walked down to the car. And I got in. I started the car and turned to my side and noticed that Betty Ann wasn't there. And waited and looked, and she still never showed up. I noticed she was standing outside the door. So I rolled down the window and asked if she was going to come to dinner with me. And her response was, "Are you going to open the door for me?" Something simple as opening the door or failing to do so to her was a sign of disrespect. And I can honestly say to this day, I continue to open up that door. But it was something that was innocent to me, but important to her. So you can see how easy it can be to show disrespect to others. Our third core value is service. Service to others means being unselfish. It means doing something for someone else without expecting any reward or gain. The no strings attached to doing something. How many of you have asked someone to do something for you? And later on, they've come back and said, "Do you remember when I did this? Do you remember when I did that?" Maybe you've done that to others. Maybe you've given service and later on gone back to that individual and said, "Do you remember when I did this?" Service to others also means helping them when they cannot help themselves, when they cannot complete a task themselves. As leaders in this organization, it is up to us to help others reach beyond their barriers, to help them find ways to achieve the goals that they're trying to achieve, to help them be more than they can. But first, you need to be able to serve yourself. You need to be able to show that you're willing to do things, that you're unselfish in your approach. Once people see that you're willing to serve, that you're willing to stand up for what you say you're going to do, then they'll serve also. You and I need to lead by example in order to get others to serve. We know the saying that it's not what you say to people, it's how you make them feel. We know that they won't care about what you're saying, what you're doing, if they don't feel that you care about them, that you have to be the person who's outgoing and reaching and putting them first. They need to know that your service is about care. We also need to take the time to invest in others. Mentoring is an ideal way to invest in others. But before we invest in others, we want to see that people are investing in themselves. There's that statement out there that we occasionally hear, what's in it for me? I don't ascribe to that philosophy. The philosophy I ascribe to is IIM, invest in myself. And if I'm investing in myself, others are more likely to invest in me. If you're investing in yourself, others are more likely to invest in you. So invest in others when you see that they're willing to take the time to invest. It brings us to the fourth core value. The fourth core value is excellence. The quality of being outstanding or extremely good at something to excel at. Past President Doley would also make the statement of it being the gold standard of doing things. Excellence is not only a value, it's a discipline. It means making the world a better place, striving to deliver the highest quality and highest value possible. One thing that I believe in when it comes to all these goals, all these core values, is that we need to live them each and every day, that we need to demonstrate them. Because if we demonstrate them, others will follow suit. But it's not just the core values that help us change the world. Core values help us change ourselves. Core values offer a guide to others. But we need to be proactive in our approach to help change the world, to help change someone's life. And we can do that by becoming a mentor for others. Some of you, if I was in person, I would ask, are you a mentor? Do you have a mentor? And I know you would raise your hand. But for those of you unfamiliar with mentoring, mentoring is a relationship between individuals, one who is more experienced or more knowledgeable in an area, and someone who is looking to gain that skills, that knowledge. And it doesn't have anything to do with age. I have seen great mentorships with younger people, younger Toastmasters, mentoring more seasoned Toastmasters. I've seen just the opposite, where more seasoned Toastmasters are being great mentors to our younger members. But mentoring requires work on the part of both individuals. As the protege, or what we used to call mentee, you need to become prepared by doing the work that's been asked. As a mentor, it is up to me to help guide you in your direction. Galileo once said, "We can teach no man anything, but only guide them to learn who they are." We also need to be supportive. We need to understand that individuals sometimes do not believe in themselves, that sometimes they are fearful of what they're doing, that they're concerned. It is up to us to have that ability to reach out and support them, to show empathy. Today is a day in our society when empathy is needed more than ever. We need to be able to be the shoulder sometimes that people rely on. We need to listen and not turn away. We need to stand strong with others. We need to be there when they feel things are the darkest. We need to be a positive role model to them. We need to be the individual who they look up to, who they believe in, who they know will always be there for them. The world is different now. Our ability to reach out, to change the world, to make it a better place is different now. The date was March 11th, 2020. It was a day that changed the world forever. It was a day that a global community began to weep. On March 11th, 2020, was the day that the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. Do you remember what you were doing when that statement was made? Do you remember where you were? Do you remember what you were thinking? I do. I know I was in the Denver, Colorado at the March Board of Directors meeting and was wondering what it meant to have a global pandemic. I had never heard of anything before. It sounded frightening. And it was. It was. All of a sudden, countries were rolling up welcome mats and putting out stay away signs. We were told to quarantine, to stay away, to shelter in place. We could no longer be with friends or family. We couldn't have Toastmasters meetings. The community that we knew changed. The community became communities of one. And when we looked at those challenges, when we stared at it, we could have done one of two things. We could have let it beat us, or we could have found a way to change ourselves, a way to change the world, a way to change the way we do things. And all of a sudden, technology became our friend. Zoom, WhatsApp, GoToMeeting, and many more became the way we connected. The ability to reach out to individuals, the ability to continue to mentor, to support, became an index finger and an enter key away. As long as you had a Zoom link, you could be anywhere in the world. The challenge to supporting each other was no longer getting on an airplane. It was no longer being able to travel. The ability to support each other was only restricted by a time zone, by the ability to stay up late or get up early. By doing so, you could be anywhere in the world at any time, making an impact. As a result of the pandemic, the need to stay separated, the need to find new ways to connect and change our community, I came up with this crazy idea of the International President's World Tour. A tour of visiting 145 clubs in 145 countries around the world. And not just showing up, because as I said, if I have a Zoom link, I can be anywhere. but of showing up at a club meeting and taking on an active role, of leading by example. I want you to take on pathway speeches. I want you to encourage to give evaluations. Then I must do that. And I would take on pathway speeches and I would get evaluations from club members around the world. And I would learn. And I learned something else, that clubs around the world, that individuals around the world, that members around the world are so happy with who they are, that they are willing to share it with the rest of the world. With each club I've attended, I've seen members sharing culture, members sharing pride, telling us who they are, letting us learn more about them. In a world that was needed to be so far apart, we found a way to bring each other together, finding new grounds, new commonality. We did so with respect to the individual. We did so with service and excellence. And we maintained the highest level of integrity. Each and every one of you have a story within you that can help change the world. Each and every one of you have the skills that someone else is looking for, that someone else needs to see, to be able to reach farther than they think they can. If we all live the core values, and on top of that, find ways to reach out and help others, to be supportive and understanding, to put ourselves in their shoes, even if it's just for a short period of time, we can change the world. And we can do so one member at a time. One of the things that I'm seeing right now that is changing our organization, changing our members, is what I'd like to call a cultural evolution. Many of us in clubs know about our clubs. We know about the members who are with us. Maybe we know about the area, and hopefully we know about the district. But we don't know much beyond that. We're siloed, if you will. And because of that, we don't necessarily know about others in our organization, about other members around the world. It can cause us to have preconceptions about who they are, about biases about who they are, of culture, of country. By taking the opportunity to reach out to other clubs, to join other clubs in a time now when it's needed most, we can all learn about one another. We can all take the time to immerse ourselves in culture, in country, in community. If we do that, we make the world a smaller place, not in size, but in distance between people. And people are what make change. People are what make change. Toastmasters of District 76, I strongly encourage you to reach out to individuals around the world. Join me in connecting the world Join me in meeting new people and tearing down the barriers between us. Sharing your story with others, listening to theirs. Living the core values each and every day. Becoming a mentor for others. I'm always looking for someone to mentor me. Be supportive to individuals in their times of need. What I've been impressed with this year is the resiliency of all of you. Your ability to stand strong in the darkness. Your ability to continue to set an example for others. At a time when it's so easy to step aside or step back, each and every one of you continues to step forward. Stepping forward is how we continue to move forward. It's how we continue to initiate and progress change. It's each and every one of you doing your small part. And together, we can change the world, one person and one member at a time. District 76, I wish you all the best throughout the remainder of this Toastmasters year and throughout the remainder of your Toastmasters journey. And I hope that someday, when things get back to what we once knew as normal, I'll be able to come and visit you, shake your hands, congratulate you on everything you've accomplished, and learn more about the members in District 76. You have made a change in my life today, and you will continue to make changes in the lives of everyone around the world. Stay safe and stay healthy until we can meet again. Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, International President Peck. Everyone, please give me a big hand. Now, keynote speech session is over. Your host today is Takezaki from Yokohama Frontier Toastmasters Club. And after all, Toastmaster Kaguchi hasn't shown up. If he was here, I would kick him. Sorry for a misarrangement. I apologize. An English contest starts at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. To view the contest, please check the information on your email you got this morning. Thank you for your watching. Please stay your channel on District 76 conference. Thank you. Bye for now.